Algebra brothers and sisters, and welcome back to Return of the Earthbenders Chapter 26. So, there's going to be a change in the third sequel and the fourth and third. It's going to third may have some romance in it, but it's going to be sad. Same goes for the fourth. Well, actually, for the fourth, there's no romance at all. It's just sad. But good. Sad but good. But even all, it's very interesting story. The trailer for the third one might tear you guys up. Or it will really grab you interested. I don't know. It's either one of the two. But there may be a trailer for Mark of the Ancients. I may put one up. I may try to create one, but it's probably not going to be. But without further, I think I have to do a trailer anyway. It's just I'll try to think of something on the fly. So anyway, let's begin. Chapter 26. The horrors of Bug Island. Everything was getting along smoothly. Vinyl Scratch was soon to be on the verge of giving birth, while Flutterbet was starting to show signs that she was pregnant. She told the others and her husband, Anguirus, that she was pregnant with his child. Spitfire and Rhoda had finally gotten married after the fight with Rockdon, and Pinkie Pie and Paragon were thinking of getting married, but hadn't decided. As for Godzilla and Shifter, well, their relationship was increasing more. Finally, Godzilla was going to go on a 10th date with her on Valentine's Day. Godzilla slowly began to watch how everything unfolded. He then spotted Lieutenant Morgan and Sergeant Ramsey heading toward him. "What are you guys doing here?" Godzilla asked. "Business, apparently," Lieutenant Morgan replied. "Let me guess. You have a mission for the Earth Defenders?" Godzilla asked. "More or less, but only you, Anguirus, and Rodan are going. The rest are staying behind," Lieutenant Morgan explained. "Why?" Godzilla asked. "Are you familiar with a place called Bug Island?" Morgan asked. No way, I'm not going to that place. Nuh-uh, no," Anguirus said. "You know that place?" Godzilla asked. "Know it? It's one of the famous disasters in history. A few years ago, an African scientist was growing a secret mushroom that was designed to help the ecosystem of the island. But it didn't just change the ecosystem. It changed the insects a lot. Bugs such as tarantulas, bees, piranhas, gators were all mutated by the mushroom or other creatures that carried the mutation serum in their body. It made them violent, threatening, rogue, and they kill anything that is on that island besides them," Anguirus explained. "It can't be that bad," Rodan shrugged. "Rodan, these bugs are huge compared to our shrunk size," Anguirus explained. "So why do you need us on the island?" Godzilla asked. "We may believe that there is still a small part of the research that the African scientists had at the nest. The spider has a huge nest at the center of the island. But the bugs are territorial over the mushroom, and you guys are the only ones who can get there. Plus, we really need you to know what happened after the mushroom plant explosion," Lieutenant Morgan explained. "Why can't Martha join us?" Anguirus asked. "Remember, hive mind. There's a slight chance that the aggressive bugs could cloud Martha's mind. Besides," Godzilla stated as he saw Martha chatting with Vinyl, "we need them both here just in case Vinyl goes into labor," Godzilla whispered. Anguirus nodded his head. "All right. Let's begin," Godzilla explained as they entered the Gatango. 5 asteroseas later. The Gatango approached the island as it began to set down near the end. Anguirus, Godzilla, and Rodan exited the vehicle. They both let the ship hover in the air. It's a good thing Martha and I talked a lot about how to use the Gatango's autopilot, Gaza answered. Well now, let's go see what this island's about, Anguirus said. Then they came across a sign that said, Welcome to Bug Island, our greatest tourist attraction. Anguirus read the sign and shivered. Yeah, like that's not creepy at all. Yeah, like that's not creepy at all. You go to an abandoned island already, you see a sign that says, Welcome to Bug Island, our greatest tourist attraction. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Anguirus shivered as the others continued off. They heard a loud, shrieking noise as a swarm of giant tarantulas came out of nowhere. Incoming! Anguirus shouted as their stick instincts kicked in as they fought for their lives. Anguirus had tucked into a ball, smashing through any corpses, getting blood on his shell. Rodan uses speed to burn, smash, or blow up his enemies. Godzilla's radioactive fire just vaporizes spiders. As for those that attack from the side, Godzilla just ripped them apart with his bare claws. They continued ripping the tarantulas apart as they finally got to the bloodthirsty insects off their backs. They saw their enemies were destroyed. This was a challenge? Anguirus asked. These must have been the weakest batch. Something tells me the further in we go, the worse it gets. This felt like taking on a small army of Kumongas, Godzilla stated. They then moved inward of the island. As they strolled toward their destination, a small buzzing was heard. Uh-oh. Is that? Rodan realized, as a huge swarm of small insects approached. Bees! Bees! Anguirus shouted. Oh no, we got bees! Rodan wailed as Godzilla used his invincibility dodge to fry the tiny insects which fell to the ground dead. Keep moving, Godzilla grumbled. They pushed on as they explored the island. They then came across a smaller, murky river with waters that were teeming with vines. They both went through the quiet jungle-like island as they needed to learn more. As they entered the river, dragonflies, crocodiles, anacondas, and even piranhas began to attack from all sides. The dragonflies were easy, however all of them got dragged beneath the water as they went to take the fight beneath the rivers. Anguirus and Rodan were having trouble fighting their opponents off, but Godzilla was built for the water. He had the advantage. The piranhas, anacondas, and crocodiles never stood a chance. All three emerged. Anguirus and Rodan gasped for breath, but Godzilla just breathed through his nose. Looks like we're going to dry land next, and judging by the upcoming shore, there's a cave that connects to a waterfall. It will help us get close to the middle of the island, Anguirus formulated. Then let's make sure we don't disappoint our tarantula friend, Godzilla said. They entered the dark, creepy cave. I got a bad feeling about this place, Anguirus said. Soon a strange shrilling was heard throughout the cave as many creatures approached, shrieking violently. Ants! Big ones! Anguirus shouted as the horde of ants, destroying as many as they could with their powers. However, it was tough to fight it in a cramped space, especially for Rodan. Unable to use flight, Rodan used ground elemental attacks and basic unarmed combat to defeat his enemies. Godzilla and Anguirus still used their powers as they journeyed forward, almost thankful that it was over, until another wave of giant ants appeared out of nowhere to take them on. No matter if you go left or right, there will always be ants in here, Anguirus shouted. They bowed the ants with brute force, as they finally rid the ants, moving on. Soon giant, huge boulders rolled down toward them, except these boulders had tucked up legs. "Roly-polies!" Rodan shouted. "No one outrolls me, not even roly-polies!" Anguirus growled as he rolled into a ball and smashed the roly-polies. Their blood splattered all over the place. After bashing roly-polies, Anguirus exited his wrecking ball mode and growled, "Gee, Anguirus, that was brutal even for you," Rodan replied. Anguirus only huffed as Godzilla walked in front of them with a focused mind. "Keep moving," Godzilla growled. They finally reached a clearing as they noticed multiple small dead bugs, but also a blueprint, maps, tables, guns, and ammo. "A refugee camp?" Anguirus asked. "No, a survivalist camp. There must have been a few refugees here to survive the place," Godzilla explained. "And I found one of them!" Anguirus shouted as the others saw him seeing a human skeleton. "Well, that's a dead man," Rodan shrugged. "Pretty much. Something tells me that these bugs attacked them right as they were going out. One of them was Mexican, the other American," Anguirus explained. "Well, from according to the news, these bones belonged to a Josero Ramirez and Ted Langston. Ted was with a wife, but was killed by fleas. Rosario Ramirez was a smuggler, but then became a fruit stealer," Anguirus explained. "Looks like none of them made it off the island alive," Godzilla explained. "Strange. According to his death date and alibi, these people still accepted tourists when all the bugs were mutated," Anguirus explained. "That doesn't make sense. Why would the African Americans do that? None of them would ever do that. While none of them would ever do that for their own government. Doesn't make any sense. Why would the African Americans do that, and yet none of them would ever do nor have that event for their own government?" Rodan asked. "They must have been trying to protect something from the public on this island," Godzilla theorized. "Why would they be that desperate to protect their research, to invite tourists to create a private army?" Rodan asked. "I don't think so. It's their research. They were protecting it, but from something else," Godzilla answered. Soon they heard small screeching sounds as a swarm of fleas approached them. Godzilla used invincibility dodge to fry the small bugs. Godzilla used his atomic breath to seal all parts of the cave so that the bugs could not get access. Godzilla spotted the oil lamps and ignited them once more. They brought light and each of them prepared what they would fight next. "We'll camp here for the night," Godzilla spoke as the others nodded. They all settled down thinking of what transpired. "Hey, Rodan, Godzilla, remember the time where we both formed the Earth Defenders for the very first time?" Anguirus asked. "How could I forget? It was the year 2001. We were all in that Kaiju prison, and Space Godzilla broke us all out. We formed our alliance in secret, and the humans didn't even know what was going on," Godzilla grinned. "Yeah, it's from then to now, all of our lives have changed," Anguirus smiled. "Yeah, we both got married recently, except Godzilla," Rodan smirked. "Yeah, wasn't Shifter a misimprint?" Anguirus asked. No. We both fell in love with each other more. We both have been falling in love with each other more when we spend time with each other. The more we we both have fallen in love with each other more as we spend much more time together," Godzilla explained. "I'm not surprised. I think all of us will soon get married by kaiju laws, for the ones we loved," Anguirus chuckled. "Mothra's probably going to hold his baby for the first time when we get back. And soon Flutterbat is going to give birth," Anguirus realized. "And nobody can panic. Our small doses of radiation can keep both them and the baby alive when they are guided to give birth successfully, if anything goes wrong," Godzilla explained. I know how time flies, Anguirus smiled. So what do we do after the war is over? After we get married? What then? Rodan asked. We retire, Rodan. We have the ones we love. There's peace for the Kaijus. There's no reason for the Earth Defenders to exist anymore, except to be with our loved ones and protect our family, Godzilla explained. At least it'll be totally worth it, Anguirus smirked. Yeah, it will be worth it, Godzilla explained, as they soon began to rest, shifting through those who would keep watch. 5 asteroids later. Mothra and the others were keeping busy. Seeing Godzilla, Rodan, and Anguirus gone, Mothra wanted to watch his wife, Vino, and taking care of her when she was pregnant with his child. Vino shared loving moments with him. As Mothra had a chat with Baragon, he heard a loud scream come from the bathroom. Mothra had a gut feeling. He knew what that meant, and instantly rushed over to where she was. Vino, are you okay? Mothra asked. My water broke. The baby's coming, Vino groaned. Mothra felt his entire body freeze after her. Now? You're giving birth to her now? Mothra shouted, let out a pained scream in response. Yes, Vino gulped. Don't worry, I learned a lot of medical history. Was shrunk down, including childbirth. Baragon, give me a towel, fast! Mothra shouted. You had me at fast, Baragon replied as he darted toward the cupboards and raced back. He gave Mothra towels as Mothra helped Vino give birth to his baby in the tub. Baragon knew the risks. He used low levels of his gamma radioactive healing factor to keep both Vino and the unborn baby alive. Just one more push! Mothra shouted. Ah! Vino screamed. Silence filled the room as the sound of a crying newborn infant was heard. Wow! They all said in wonder. The baby was an anthropomorphic Pegasus. Her skin was white, like Vino's, but her eyes were almost changeling, but were Mothra's bug-eyed color. Her wings were beautiful, decorated like Mothra's. It's a girl! Baragon shouted. Mothra, she's beautiful, Vino sighed happily. Mothra wiped away his tears. I'm so proud of us. Smiled. Thank you, Mothra. She smiled as they kissed passionately. The baby anthropomorphic creature let out a small squeak as Mothra and Vino grinned. Oh, you get kisses too, said in unison as they kissed their newborn baby, who giggled and cooed. What do we name her? Mothra asked. Oh, let me think. You should name her Angel. Jill, you should name her Angel. She has Vino's white skin and Mothra's stunning eyes. And wings, Angel. Wings, like an angel. Baragon grinned. Hang on. I like it, Mothra smiled. Me too, Vino smiled as she snuggled her baby tightly. Angel it is. They both sighed. Baragon then collapsed as Pinkie Pie rushed over to him. Baragon, are you okay? Pinkie asked. I think I lost more radiation than I realized. I think I need to eat some more G energy, Baragon told him. Baragon, thanks for looking out for my wife and child, Mothra asked. You would have done the same for me. After all, Earth Defenders stick together. Baragon grinned as he went to eat. Vino and Mothra looked down at their newborn anthropomorphic hybrid daughter, Angel. 5 asteroids later. Godzilla woke up from seeing the sunlight. He then nudged Rodan awake and saw Anguirus had gotten a little shut-eye. Lucky for them, none of the bugs were able to get through. As all of them woke up from the first night on the abandoned island, as Godzilla put his ear to the stone wall he created, he heard a familiar sound and growled as he stepped backward and paused. "Ants on the other side," Godzilla warned. The others got into position as Godzilla readied himself to make their move. Godzilla destroyed the stone wall as all the ants began to pile in as the Earth defenders engaged them. Godzilla heard a similar sound as he knew what to do. "Quick, to the waterfall! That's our way forward! Anguirus, clear a path!" Godzilla shouted. Anguirus acknowledged as he tucked into a ball and bashed many bugs, clearing the way while splattering the mutant bugs' blood on the wall. They then all jumped down to the waterfall as they splashed into the waters below, outside the cave. Rodan and Anguirus both gasped for air as they surfaced. Godzilla emerged from the waters, letting steam exit his nose. "Let's move," Godzilla told them as they moved on. After traveling, they came across a huge temple that was covered with vines. "Whoa, what type of temple is this?" Anguirus asked. Godzilla uncovered the place as he viewed the temple that stood before him. "A cursed temple. This must have been here for centuries, like the artifacts. Even when we exist with the humans, this planet will never forget about us," Godzilla explained. "Do you think the reason this island was abandoned was because of this temple?" Anguirus asked. "I think the temple is only half the cause. Something else had to have caused this mutation, and I intend to find out why," Godzilla explained. Without warning, a giant praying mantis with a bunch of praying mantises appeared out of nowhere. "Holy praying mantis!" Anguirus shouted. Godzilla used his invincibility dodge to destroy the small mantises. The big one brought its claw down. Godzilla grabbed it limb by force as he held it by himself. "You're pissing me off!" Godzilla growled as he swung Mantis in a circle, threw him high into the sky, and used his radioactive fire to blow his enemy to bits. "Keep moving," Godzilla growled. They all began to move toward the facility where the entire disaster originated. A lot of time passed. It took them all afternoon to get from the cave to the temple. They had arrived at the facility and it was already midnight. The facility was now only rubble. There was a huge canister with yellow mushrooms growing out of them. "This is the facility?" Anguirus said. "Oh my god," Rodan said, as there was a huge web cocoon that held other bugs who were constantly mutating into something else. "What the F is going on?" Anguirus asked. "This spider isn't just mutating the bugs to be vicious. It's trying to control them," Godzilla realized. Godzilla studied the mushrooms and the nests. They're like environment changers. They plant every hive mind organism into a creature's mind. Once all of the creatures devour the plants to become bigger to get off the island. And once that happens, they will continue until all of their food sources and other creatures are controlled or eaten," Godzilla explained. "The scientists must have expecting to create a radioactive plant that can make this island species thrive, but somehow they must have activated the cursed temple's failsafe and caused the plants and the dark magic to mix, causing this problem that is growing into a planetary disaster," Godzilla explained. "What do we do?" Anguirus asked. Before Godzilla finished, a loud hiss interrupted them as a giant purple spider with mutant mushrooms fused to its skin jumped as it was guarded with bees. "Great, I thought bees were bad enough," Anguirus grumbled. The bees attacked first, but Godzilla's atomic breath destroyed them. The giant spider then charged, knocking Godzilla off his feet. Before the spider could charge again, Anguirus bit its back leg as he tucked into her paw, slamming the creature into the ground again and again. The spider was blind, trying to see, but Ronan's speed attacks started knocking the spider off guard. Then Godzilla joined with a huge grab and slam into the ground, and then a piercing uppercut, sending the spider on its back, flattening the mushrooms in the process. Blood dripped from the spider's mouth as he tried to get back up. Godzilla then stabbed his claw into the beast's belly. The spider let out a hollering screech as blood poured out of its belly. Godzilla then threw the spider miles away, only to be blown up by Godzilla's atomic breath. Godzilla then called in the Gatango as they got into the ship to go home. Anguirus, do we have a nuclear warhead powerful enough to level this entire island? Godzilla asked. Well, we have a nuclear warhead, but not one that can destroy the entire island, Anguirus answered. Leave that to me, Godzilla replied. Godzilla went to storage, pulling out a small nuclear warhead. Godzilla used his superform to apply extra nuclear fission so that the explosion would be enough. Godzilla opened the bay as he threw the nuclear warhead from the safe distance to the island. The nuclear warhead went supernova as the island sank deep beneath the ocean. Let's go home, Godzilla told the others. 5 asteroids later. Godzilla, Anguirus, Rodan, you're back! Shifter, Flutterbat, and Spitfire cried happily. Some gave hugs while Godzilla and Shifter exchanged a kiss. Shifter let out a soft moan as the kiss deepened. Godzilla then saw Vino walk in, holding the anthropomorphic hybrid who was sucking on a bottle that was filled with a cross between G energy and milk. The infant closed its eyes, enjoying the taste as it let out tiny little moans. Martha also was there, watching his new daughter. So, girl or boy? Godzilla asked. Girl. Her name is Angel. She's, well, a butterfly kaiju and an anthropomorphic equestrian Pegasus, Martha answered. Interesting. I expected for the baby to be a different hybrid. Interesting. I didn't expect for the baby to be a hybrid, Godzilla replied. But why did you give birth to a Pegasus instead of a unicorn? Spitfire asked. Kaiju DNA. It couldn't make the infant an alicorn since the father was a butterfly kaiju, so it made her into an anthropomorphic Pegasus hybrid, Godzilla explained. Makes sense. At least I'm happy that we had our baby, Vino sighed as she held Angel close. Yeah, she's beautiful, Martha smiled. I wonder what our baby is going to look like, Anguirus said as he held Flutterbat close to him. I hope we find out when the time comes, Flutterbat replied, smiling. They then had the day to get some rest. We still got a minute. You know what? We'll do another chapter. We'll do another chapter. Okay, this is gonna be chapter 26 and 27. It's probably gonna be a cut at the beginning of the chapter. Chapter 27. A Kaiju Valentine's Day. Warning: naughtiness ensues. It was Valentine's Day. Everyone was spending time with their loved ones or had special plans with their loved ones. For the Earth Defenders and their lovers, it was quite complicated. Vino was going to watch over Angel, while Martha had to run the entire base all by himself. Flutterbat was definitely showing signs of pregnancy. At first it was certain whether she was pregnant from Anguirus, but now it was definitely certain. Anguirus was happy, but he had plans with his wife, and for them it meant taking it easy. Gazelle had planned the perfect date with Shifter, while Spitfire and Rodan would go on a short cruise and make the stuffing out of each other. And here's the cut. Be right back. And we are back. They didn't know what Pinkie Pie and Baragon had planned. Mothra, are you sure you can watch the base all by yourself? Gazelle asked. Don't worry, Gazelle. I've done it before. I can do it again, Mothra replied. Gazelle nodded as he had the picnic basket ready. Ready, Shifter? Gazelle asked. Shifter's beautifully designed bright cyan scales that had a beautiful jewel design and color. Shifter felt more and more attracted and in love with Godzilla almost each passing day. Godzilla felt the same about Shifter. Ready, Shifter smiled. The two then journeyed outward to their 10th date. Rodan and Spitfire quickly said their goodbyes and used their super speed to catch their cruise ride. Hey Baragon, I want to give you my Valentine's Day present, Pinkie Pie smiled. What is it? Baragon asked. Pinkie Pie approached him closer as their lips met. The kiss became more passionate as Pinkie Pie moaned deeply into the kiss. Soon the two parted to kiss for air. Baragon, we've been on many dates, even some that are too often, and after a while I realized that I can't live without having you in my life, so will you marry me by Kaiju laws? Pinkie Pie asked. Oh no, here we go. Baragon was shocked as he heard the news. He then replied, Pinkie Pie, ever since we met in the lab, I knew that you had a heart, and I helped you. And ever since then, the more we talked and the chat, the more I realized I love you for who you are, Pinkie Pie. Your cheery smile and bouncy attitude always brightens my day. And yes, I will marry you because I love you, Baragon replied. The two then shared another passionate kiss. Pinkie moaned deeply into the kiss, happy that Baragon accepted her proposal. Vinyl instantly casted a soundproof spell on Baragon's room. Have fun, you two. Vinyl grinned. Pinkie Pie and Baragon didn't reply as the two of them went into Baragon's room. Pinkie Pie closed the door and locked it. She then took off her clothes as she twirled her naked body to Baragon's eyes. I've been waiting for this for a long time, Pinkie Pie cooed seductively. Pinkie Pie's butt was quite big, and her breasts were normal size, perfect in Baragon's view. But remember when we first met, you tied to a dissection table? Pinkie asked. Yeah? Baragon stammered. Pinkie Pie then pulled out a small red ribbon that danced across her body. This time you get to tie me up and ravish me like the beast you are, Pinkie Pie said with bedroom eyes. Oh, God. Well, technically that is fair since he was on a dissection table when they met, so seems fair. Baragon tied the beautiful ribbon around her arms, but made sure he could move her arms and hands. Pinkie Pie let out a soft giggle as both of them laid on the bed. Baragon, I love you for who you are and what you are. So please show me how dominant you are and ravage me like the beast you are. Pinkie Pie breathed out. I will, Pinkie, and I'll make sure you enjoy it, Baragon replied. The room became filled with Baragon's groans and Pinkie Pie's loud exotic moans as she hollered Baragon's name, as the two went at it. Many hours had passed as the bed was a mess. Baragon laid up top of Pinkie's back, still holding her breasts with his claws. Ooh, Baragon, I love you so much, Pinkie moaned as she slowed from her mating with Baragon. I love you too, Pinkie, Baragon replied as the two snuggled together. We should get up, Pinkie Pie replied. Baragon uses powers to clean the sheets. The sheets are clean. Why don't we just sleep some more? Baragon replied in a tight voice. Yeah, let's. Pinky moaned quietly in response as the tubes fell back asleep. 5 asteroids later. Spitfire approached Rodan in the suite they had on the cruise. She was naked and the door was locked, but this time she was wearing some sexy leg stockings for Rodan to use. Ready to ret me while I wear your Valentine's gift? Spitfire cooed, when she gave Rodan a kinky wink. You know I will, Rodan grinned. Then ravage me, Rodan, Spitfire demanded. The two then got into bed as the two went at it. The room became filled with Rodan's groans and Spitfire's exotic moans. Many hours passed as Rodan lay on top of her stomach. The two gave each other a warming snuggle. Spitfire opened her eyes to see that Rodan had a wing curled around her back, while the other covered his beak-like lips. Spitfire smiled. She then gave Rodan a small nudge, which only made him growl. She then gave him a bounce, only to have a small push in return. King Spitfire moaned as they were still connected in their mating position. Rodan woke up as he saw Spitfire. Still up for more? Rodan asked. Yes, round 2, Spitfire replied as the two went at it again. 5 asteroids later. Gazelle and Shifter ran through the park as one song continued to play through their heads as they happily journeyed together to their picnic spot. Dreams of Absolution. I don't know who this is by, but it wasn't me. In the nightlight, do you see what you dream? Are your troubles, are they all what they seem? Look around you, then you may realize all the creatures saw with the light. And I might not know of our future, but then you still control the past. Only you know if we'll be together. Only you know if we shall last. Ba, ba. In the nightlight, do you still feel your pain? For the valor you waited never came. If you were able, would you go to change the past? To manifest past with one last chance? I might not know of our future, but then you still control the past. Only you know if you'll be together tonight. 'Cause every night I will save your life, and every night I will be with you. 'Cause every night I'll still lay awake and I dream of an absolution. 'Cause every night will make it right, and every night I will come to you. But every night it just stays the same, and I dream of an absolution. Ba 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 ba. In the nightlight, do you see what you dream? All your triumph and all you'll ever be. Look around you and then you may realize happiness lies trapped in misery. And who knows what of our future? We can all try to change the past. Only you know if we'll be together tonight. 'Cause every night I will save your life, and every night I will be with you. 'Cause every night I will lay you awake and I dream of an absolution. 'Cause every night will make it right, and every night will come to you. But every night just stays the same, and I dream of an absolution. 'Cause every night I will save your life, and every night I will be with you. 'Cause every night that I say I will still lay awake and I dream of an absolution. 'Cause every night will make it right, and every night will come to you. But every night just the same, and I dream of an absolution. And you'll see why you'll be, and you'll see, yeah, all you can be, whoa, and ever and I, and ever and I, and ever and I, and ever and I, and ever and night, and ever and night, I will dream, and you'll see, why you'll be every night, and you'll see, yeah, every night. All you can be, it will always be, and ever and night, yeah. And then more instrumental music plays and then it ends. Realizing that both he and Shifter had been singing that song in unison and out loud, both Godzilla and Shifter let out a small blush. You know that song? Shifter asked as she blushed. Yeah, I listened to the entire thing before I met you, Godzilla replied. I heard it because my father sang me it, Shifter replied. The two then sat down at their picnic spot. Godzilla and Shifter enjoyed their meal, as the two talked more about what they witnessed. They both laughed in each other's presence, and they didn't mind each other's company. Soon Godzilla had pulled out a certain musical instrument. Godzilla, can you sing me a song? Shifter asked. Sure. What kind of song would you like? Godzilla asked. Can you just play what your heart thinks? I don't mind. I just want to hear your handsome voice, Shifter answered dreamingly. Ooh la la. Very well. I will sing, Godzilla replied, as he knew a song that was on his mind for some time. Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. I know the song begins with instrumental woman. Whoa. I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in and shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems grow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Whoa, oh, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Oh, I'm radioactive, radioactive. I raise my flag and don my clothes. It's a revolution, I suppose. We're painted red to fit right in. Whoa, I'm breaking in and shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems grow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Oh, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Oh, I'm radioactive, radioactive. All systems go. The sun hasn't died. Deep in my bones, straight from inside, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems grow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Oh, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Oh, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Stupid computer, stop it. After Godzilla had finished, Shifter had stared into his eyes with amazement. Wow, you're such an amazing singer, Shifter gasped. Thank you, Godzilla blushed. Shifter stared into those reptilian volcanic-colored eyes. They were super dreamy. He's so mysterious and so attractive, Shifter thought to herself. As she stared into those eyes, both of their eyes glowed pink as they got closer. Their lips met once more as they enjoyed the heavenly kiss. Shifter let out a small muffled squeak as she enjoyed the passionate kiss. The two then parted for air. The two lay next to each other on the soft grass, staring at the stars and the moon. Stop it. The moon looks so beautiful, Shifter sighed happily. It is, and I like spending this time with you. But why do I have a bad feeling we won't think that for long? Godzilla asked. 5 asteroids later. The massive alien cruisers, flagships, and destroyers, as they saw that King Ghidorah, saw their leader, King Ghidorah, observe the planet he targeted. Sir, the fleet is ready. We are ready to begin, Gigan told them. Put me on speaker, King Ghidorah ordered. The speaker was put down as it transmitted to the entire fleet. Fellow aliens, our time of countless defeats is finally over. We will finally take the plan we have been rightfully ready. The planet we all have been rightfully the plan. We all have been rightfully ready to claim the planet Earth for our own, King Ghidorah roared, as every alien in the ship cheered, as each ship went to hyperdrive, bent on conquering the planet they had selected. Oh, sorry guys, and that's gonna end it. Apparently, so we're literally, after this, it's chapter 28. We're really close to the end, guys, so don't forget to like, comment, and share, and be sure to click that subscribe button. It's gonna be Predator 2525, signing off.